Olá, tudo bem? Today I'm here with Lisa. She's from Shoreline Community College from Seattle, and she will talk about the destiny and some futures from the college. Hello Lisa, how are you doing?
I'm fabulous. Thanks so much for hosting me.
Great, thank you very much. Can we talk about first, Shoreline is in Seattle, right? So can we talk a little bit more about Seattle, the things that students can do, how is the dynamic of the city?
Absolutely. Well, you might know this, but Seattle is a really famous city in the US for a lot of reasons. Students might have heard of some of the companies that are headquartered in our city, like Starbucks and Microsoft, Amazon, Boeing. So a lot of different Fortune 500 companies in our city that often attract students and people from all over the world to come and intern or work or study. But it's also really fun. So it's one of the safest and cleanest big cities in the entire US. So it's a great place to walk around at night, to have a lot of fun with your friends. Of course, Seattle's famous for a beautiful music and art scene. So people who are artistic or into dancing or want to go out, it's a really fun place. It's also quite sporty. We have a lot of major sports teams in town, including soccer and football and basketball and most recently ice hockey. So a lot of our students like to go to the sporting events and have fun. For me and for some of my students, we're a little bit outdoorsy, and Seattle's absolutely beautiful to go hiking. So there's a lot of hiking trails outside of the city that are really easy to access, and people hike in the national parks all the time. And my other favorite thing that I love to recommend to students, there's great whale watching and other things that you can do that are nature adjacent. And so I just hosted a big group and we all went whale watching and saw orca whales. It was quite fun. And as you might imagine, much like Brazil, the coffee culture is incredible. So I think students from Brazil often have a good time because they can find things that remind them of home.
That's great. And how is the weather there? Because sometimes we heard that there rains a lot, right?
You know, it does rain frequently in the winter, but it's not heavy rain. So when I used to live in other parts of the US, it would flood. And in the Seattle weather is more sprinkling. So you need a light raincoat. It'll rain a couple hours during the day in the winter. The nice trade-off for that is we almost never get snow. Maybe 1 or 2 days a year on like the East Coast that gets snow for a few months a year. And so it's a little bit more balanced, but you will want a nice raincoat when you come to Seattle.
And can we talk about the Shoreline Community College? So can we talk about the history of the college? And I think it's very good to understand about the 2+2 as well.
Absolutely. Well, you know, Shoreline was founded in 1964, and one really cool thing about our college is we were gifted the land for the college from the Boeing family. Boeing as in the airplanes. It used to be their vacation home, and so it's an 83-acre, really beautiful campus dedicated to students. And Seattle is one of the very first places where community college welcomed international students. And so we are one of the top community colleges in the whole country for international enrollment. We're number 16 right now out of almost 1,500 colleges. And the reason that's important is just this. I'm here. Our office has resources to come and help students in their home country as they transition, and a lot of resources on campus to help students. At Shoreline, one of our most popular majors is that 2+2 program you were mentioning, which means students can do 1/2 of their degree with us for a greatly reduced price, and then transfer to schools all over the US when they finish for the last 2 years. So still only 4 years total. And at the end of 4 years, they'd get the same degree as if they went directly to university, but along the way they could save $40,000 to $80,000 US by starting at community college. That makes me very proud because I never want students to spend money they don't have to spend. And I know they'll get a high quality education with us. And when they graduate, oftentimes students go to a more competitive university for the last 2 years than they would have directly from Brazil. So for example, our students go to University of Washington, the top public school in our state. They go to UC Berkeley and UCLA and NYU and Texas A&M many famous schools around
Yes.
the US. And those schools want our students because they know they speak English well. They know they can succeed in an American curriculum. And in fact, over 100 universities visit us twice a year just to meet with our students and invite them to apply. Specifically for students who might be on a budget, we also have a lot of schools who offer transfer scholarship pathways to reduce the cost for the last few years. So if students are on a budget and they say, the first 2 years at community college are less expensive, but what about the last 2 years? We're able to help them identify schools that will meet their budget and also their dreams.
Great. And those are awards for only sports or for academics, or?
It depends on the school. More often I see awards for academics, but there have been some students who've been scholarshiped for sports. And even on our campus, we offer partial, not full, but partial sports scholarships for students who want to play soccer, basketball, softball, baseball.
Yeah.
So there are some opportunities for athletic scholarships as well.
And Lisa, what's the most popular majors there?
Sure. Well, I think it's important to distinguish that some countries have more popular majors than other countries, depending on where students come from. In general, I see a lot of interest in engineering and computer science, physics, biology, chemistry, and business as kind of the traditional standard for international students, the potentially parent-approved options. But we also have incredible arts programs. So if students want to study psychology, music, theater, film, we have some really wonderful programs for that as well.
That's great, yeah. And Lisa, is there many Brazilians there at the city or even studying there at Shoreline?
Great question. There actually are a ton of Brazilians in the city of Seattle. Frankly, some are students and some are au pairs and some are folks who've come to work in Seattle. And so we do have some Brazilian students on our campus right now. I'm here in Sao Paulo because I think there should be more. I want to extend this opportunity to more students, but we do have several Brazilian students on campus.
Great.
And in the community, there's actually a big Brazilian festival every year that just happened at the Seattle Center. That's where the Space Needle is. And there's a big scene for dancing zouk in our community, and there's actually some famous Brazilian zouk dancers who are teaching our community right now. So I think there's some really nice cultural touch points for students who are coming to Seattle as well.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for hosting me and for helping me meet some of these wonderful Brazilian students.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. I think it's a very nice place to be there because Seattle has some features that can offer very good quality of life for the students. So I think I can be very satisfying referring students to Shoreline. Yeah. Thank you very much.